What's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelly if you're new, and today we are starting a new series on this channel. If you are familiar, if you've ever seen these, I've seen other crocheters do things with these, and it's always intrigued me because if you're following along on my channel, I started a temperature blanket at the beginning of the year. I have failed very miserably to keep track of it. So I was going back and forth of whether I should continue because it is June, and I know this video will go out in like July. I think July, yeah, is when this video will go out because I started. I'll get into that in a minute. I'm sorry, I ramble. If you're new, welcome to Chaos. I ramble. Where was I? I don't even know. And I've seen other people use these cards, and I came across them. I was going back and forth whether I wanted to continue or not. And then I came across these cards in Michael's, and I was like, I feel like this is destiny. Like this is where I should go. This is because I was trying to think of like a second like mini series on my channel. One that could be like separate from all the markets and prepping and plushies and things like that, and without kind of copying people. But I did come across these, so these ones are just basic granny squares, and then with it there was this one, which is granny square stitches. So instead of it being a square, I mean it's a square, but you use different stitches too. So this is card number 1, and it's all done in single crochet, and this one is card number 2, and it has been done in all half doubles. My goal, I tried to calculate what I had for the rest of the year, and there happens to be 26, 27 weeks, depending on whether I do the week of Thanksgiving or the week of Christmas or not, weeks left in the year. And there are 50 cards, and half of that is 25. So yeah, I did simple math. So I thought if I do 2 of each for each video, that'll give us 4 little squares to look at and do. And then it's something else. And then maybe at the end, we'll do something with them. Maybe not, I don't even know. But I thought it would be fun as like a crochet along, granny squares, something different to talk about, because I actually really love doing granny squares, and I've been trying to think about other things to do with granny squares. I used to make my loveys out of granny squares, and so it would be the big granny square and then just like the head and the arms, one of those, and they sold pretty good. And then I found Mom Made Minis loveys or snugglers loveys, and I was like, oh, these are great, these are fantastic. But I think not everybody, I think some people would have preferred the granny square, so I kind of want to get myself back into granny square. And I thought about doing bags, but that's another type of thing, and I don't want to stretch myself too thin. So enough with the rambling. So today's video, so I wanted to make the process as easy on myself as possible. So I'm just going to, some people scramble them, and I'm just doing them in numerical order. So this week I did 1 and 2 of the granny squares and 1 and 2 of the stitches. So I thought I have 3 of them done. I have both of the stitches one done. And then, so the granny square one was number 2. It's pretty easy because there's no color changes or whatever. So I thought, as we talk about it a little bit, I would do that one with you. Let me know in the comments if you have these and you've tried these before, and what you have done with them. So yeah, so let me get into, so this is the square. I'm trying to, so this will go out in July, so I wanted to make it red, white, and blue. And I know, don't judge, I will get to those. The other reason I was kind of switching from the temperature blanket to, because I thought about just randomly making the hexagons and being able to put them on there later. But if I got them out of order, then I'd be all messed up. However, these ones, if I wanted to do something with them later, they don't have to be in any type of order. So I'm still making the granny squares, and I don't have to be so strict with it. Like, I can just take them in the car and toss them when they're finished. Does that make sense? So this is what I have done for, this is card number 1. So it's just single crochets. Pretty simple. I assume they will get harder as we go. So I kept with the red, white, and blue. And then, so these 2, I can't say all of them. I think all of them will end up with a border all the way around. And I think I smudged this border a little bit, because you can see there's a little bit of a border and a second, because there's supposed to be a second row, but I think I messed it up, but that's pretty typical of me. ADHD and all. So that is stitches number 1. And then number 2, because you see how this one turned out to be an exact square. Yeah. So this one is pretty much the same pattern, but nope, there we go. It's half doubles. And then I did the correct border around, and it's a perfect little square. And so keeping sort of with my red, white, and blue a little bit. I don't want them to all be exactly the same. Okay, well, let me go get my yarn a little bit. And then we'll do the granny square. Okay, so I grabbed my yarn. I should be more prepared for these things, but I never am. It's always chaos over here. So getting into the granny square ones. So I did make the first granny square, regular granny square. And doing this, I wanted to do those first ones especially off camera, because I wanted to make sure I read all the instructions and things first. I'm not familiar with having to read a pattern like this, so I had to familiarize myself with this. There are a few differences too than the way I would normally do my granny square, and so I'll get into that real quick. So the instructions said for a 3-weight and use a 4mm hook, and so I use a 4-weight. So I thought, let me bump my hook up as well to a 5, and it turned out too big. Let me pull my other card. Actually, it turned out a little too big, so I switched back to the 4, and the 4 is perfect for the little square. And then as I measured it with the other one, they're perfect as well. So I switched to a 4, and then, so as I was doing it, so the designer of this granny square, she does 3 in each corner, 3 chains in each corner. I usually do 2, which is totally fine. I can do 3. And then, instead of some patterns ask you to turn, and some of them just have you go up and go around, and so all of your color changes are in one spot. She always has you start in the corner. So that took a little bit of getting used to. But if you see the difference too, just a little bit all the way around of the edge. So I just wanted to show you the difference between this one and the one we'll be keeping. And like I said, it matches pretty good. So I do have my 4mm. There we go. Woo! My 4mm hook, and I am not sure. So in this one, there's no color change. There's no color changes. It's actually, because there's no color changes, it's actually simpler than the first one. So instead of changing in the corners, I'm just going to chain 2. I think actually it wants me to slip stitch. Let me double check that. Let's double check that. Because like I said, I can read a pattern, and I generally know what all the symbols mean on these types of patterns. But like, it's not something I do on a regular basis, you know what I mean? Let me know in the comments if this is the type of pattern that you use all the time. So the book does come with a chart to help me. Yeah. So I do need to slip stitch into those few. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to stick to our July color palette. Also, she starts with a chain 4 for her circle. So that is her round 1, and then it starts. So I make the magic ring, and I'm basically skipping round 1. Because like I said, her round 1 is a chain 4. And then you do round 2 into the loop. And because I do the magic circle, I skip that. So and then, then it continues just like any other magic circle. Let me make sure you can see what I'm doing. And then a 3, and then a cluster, and then you just make sure you do that until you have 4. So I need one more. Okay. The other thing that these do differently, it starts the round off with the whole corner. So the way I would do it is I would do half of the corner, the start corner, and then I would continue around, and it would finish the first corner. Let me know if that is what you do. Okay, so now it wants me to slip stitch across into until I get to my corner. And then I start my corner. And then 3. And then my cluster, and then I just do the rest of them like normal. And I don't mind these changes, but they did take some time to get used to. So that's why I did the first one off camera, just so I can get my bearings and I'm not flailing around. When I did my Woobles video, I wanted it all to be like a genuine reaction to things, and then I was like, nope, I don't want 40 minutes of me reading instructions. So let me look at this and then I'll come back. But I think I'm getting better at talking and doing things on camera, which is great. I would really like to get used to showing you guys more things. And I know this video is different, and I'm really hoping YouTube's algorithm is not going to hate me for it. All right, see, now we have the beginning. And then, so now I'm gonna go finish the rest. I have 2 more rows. I'm gonna go finish them off camera real quick, and then I'll be right back. So we have finished our square. This one was pretty simple. There's no color changes. There's nothing fancy about it. But I think the box always starts with pretty simple stitches. These ones started with a single crochet and a half double. If you're unfamiliar with single crochets and half double crochets, these stitches, before you even get to, like, so normally I make the plushies, I really feel like you should start with a single crochet, because most of my plushies are single crochet. So if you don't know how to do a single crochet, I tell people all the time, like, they want to start immediately with the plushies, and it's like, there are some basics that you need to get through before you get there. So as of right now, I think, like I said, I'm just gonna go in order and through the box. Have you done these? Put it in the comments. Did you shuffle it? Should I shuffle it so it's not building up to other things? I'm really excited to get to some of the flowers. And if this turns out to be a good series of videos, so they do have an all flower one that they just came out with, that I will get, and we'll have fun with that together. But that will be one square. I feel like I'm crooked. So now it'll be 1 square a week. That's okay. That's okay. I have a lot of things. I always have a lot of things planned for next year. But this is not about the markets. This one is not about the market. I want this one to only be about the granny squares and the blankets and things like that. So if I decide to pick my granny square, my temperature blanket back up, this is where we'll talk about it. I want to keep the plushies separate. I think for my sanity, that is best. The other thing I really liked about the way she did the granny square, is because you did the full corner, it ends like perfect. and mine always, the corner always ends a little wonky, and so I just love, 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 love. I am enjoying how these have turned out. Like I said, I love making granny squares, and I think I really want to get back into making some of my granny square loveys, because it's a granny square and a plushie, and it mixes the things that I like the most. So that's where we are for today. If this type of stuff, if you really enjoy this type of stuff and you would like me to keep going, please give it a thumbs up. Please hit the subscribe button. I don't ask that a lot, but I'm trying to grow my channel, trying to grow my community, and I always love any type of comments that you have. So we're trying new things, trying to get better at social media and posting and things like that. So that's where we are for today. Today we did 1 and 2. This week we did 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. And the thing I liked about this is I don't have to do anything with them right now. Like my temperature blanket has to keep the dates under control. I have to immediately put it on and now I have this giant thing. And so I just really liked how this came out. So I'm excited. I'm excited for this new adventure. And just like my other videos, it's chaos around here, and I don't know what I'm doing. So if you like that, stick around, and we'll see you next time, next week, for more squares.